thrown off the plane, all because Brownie has a bad dream?
I saw it.
The plane! It's gonna blow up! It's gonna blow up!
Gah! It gets me every time. Welcome, you classic horror film lovers. And yes, we're starting off this Halloween marathon with indeed a modern classic, celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. That's just wild to me. From New Line Cinema, it is Final Destination, the very first one, released in 2000. A March release, funny enough. At least it wasn't a January release where horror films go to die. But this film, starring 90s heartthrob Devon Sawa as Alex. Hey! I'm not that vain, come on. As a high school senior about to board a plane with his classmates for a school trip to Paris. But as he sits down, he has a frightening premonition that the plane will malfunction and crash, costing the lives of every single passenger. Once he awakes, he realizes it might come true, forcing some of his classmates to get off the plane too during a little scuffle. But when the plane takes off without them and blows up mid-air, the survivors and the cops question how Alex knew that would happen, as well as how would Alex know that death would still come after each survivor, one by one, because you can't cheat death.
In death, there are no accidents, and no escapes.
Quite a premise, right? You only wonder why they made a whole franchise out of this film, huh? Oh my goodness, folks. I hold this film, this first entry, in a nice place in my heart. I was 10 when this movie released, and I can remember the first time watching it as a great old Hollywood video VHS rental. Ah, the good old days. With my mom and my sister, because we three are very much the horror fans in the family. And I was truly terrified. I remember during that first viewing, I actually had a nice quesadilla from Taco Bell, of all places, watching this damn film and being so excited, so engaged, and scared out of my wits, because there is nothing like how writer-director James Wong shot the death sequences in this film. How every scene is so filled with tension, you're literally second-guessing yourself all throughout, wondering how this certain person will meet their end in the most gruesome of ways. And yes, little me with my steak quesadilla from Taco Bell with mild hot sauce, thank you very much, is just having the time of his life. It's those kinds of memories that mean the world to me, and I'm sure does the same for you, right? Needless to say, after multiple viewings over the years, I have come to love this film, though obviously not perfect. Let's not get it twisted. It has its flaws, as any film would have, let alone a horror film of the early 2000s. But the premise and the hook of the death sequences are what keeps us attached and alert. So hopefully we can avoid any possible, air quote, accidental deaths in real life, right? The concept was originally going to be used as an X-Files episode, which is pretty cool, written by Jeffrey Reddick, and then fine-tuned by other X-Files alum, James Wong and Glenn Morgan, focusing on not having death as a physical antagonist, but as a mythical entity. And the enjoyment comes from the ride of the scenes, not the outcome. Enjoying the process of each survivor encountering death. However, it kind of goes a little on the wayside by having a shadowy figure float in from time to time, which I couldn't stand. I gotta be honest, that had to be a studio decision, because it takes away from people's honest demise based on everyday objects we all use that just fall on you by accident, you know? Spoilers ahead, but each sequence is choreographed so well. But you know, hands down, the one that still gives you a giant jump gasp is Terry, played by Amanda Detmer. Oh my God, you're genuinely shocked, but then chuckling right after, because it's just so off guard. I love it. Same with Seann William Scott with his By the Train. Holy Lord. That one, I think, gave me the most nightmares, thinking twice about standing next to an ongoing train, let alone just stopping and parking my car on the train tracks. I mean, we all know why Carter did that, yes. This cast of 20-year-olds playing teenagers, of course, is so great. Devon Sawa, honestly, gives such a thorough and vulnerable performance, and in my opinion, elevated him to the next level of leading a picture of this magnitude. It should have made him a considerable lead actor of major projects after this, for he's so naturalistic and so real. You believe him every step. Same as Larter, whom I'm not really a big fan of, but this was the first role I remember seeing her in. No, not Varsity Blues. That came a little after. And she nails being the outcast with a bad home life. You see it in that scene where the survivors' families all come to get their children, and her parents don't even come to get her or comfort her. That scene is done really well. Kerr Smith as the jock, I mean, quintessential. No notes. And I always like Smith, especially from Dawson's Creek, and even the independent vampire film, The Forsaken, which is not too bad. I mean, it's bad, but I'll cover it one day, you'll see. But also KRISTEN CLOCKE as Valerie Luton, a fantastic nod to producer-writer extraordinaire Val Luton, who made some of the most amazing low-budget films in horror like Cat People. And the cast is full of praise because, to me, my friends, in order to make a great horror film, in order to make a horror film work, you have to have likable and at least relatable characters. The writing certainly helped a lot in that department here, thankfully, but it's the actors that bring that life to screen, which makes the audience care that much more. Even with more nods to our dear Candyman, Tony Todd, popping in here as the Mortician Bloodworth. What a legend. The Final Destination franchise is certainly not a slasher series. God, no. This actually had stakes, and quite frankly, it owes a lot of dedication to Wes Craven. I mean, come on, for this kind of deep exploration of death out to get them, and trying everything they can to cheat it. The epilogue scene where our three heroes are in Paris feels so much like a studio rewrite/reshoot. Which, yeah, same as Wes Craven and how he fought New Line on Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, it's Bob Shaye's company. There's always got to be a hook in the end, where death is coming back to get them. In the end, I don't mind it too much, because it's all geared to keep us on our toes. A good yet exciting time at the movies. Final Destination was indeed a great commercial success, with its $113 million intake over its $23 million budget. I mean, come on. Though received critically mixed, today I'm glad to say that most people, especially my age group, are showing more admiration and respect to the first installment anyway, and we will certainly get to the remaining films one day. But folks, I give James Wong's Final Destination a B+.
Who's next?
Nobody has control over life and death unless they are taking lives and causing death.
This horror season is gonna be fun, so make sure you stay tuned for more to come. But please tell me, my friends, the first Final Destination, what do you think of it? Share in those comments all day long. If you like this, please click like, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay updated, as well as check out the Patreon page for more specific reviews, and also make sure to sign up as a member on this YouTube channel. You're too kind. Thank you all so much for watching, and close us out, Mr. Todd.
I'll see you soon.